Please. How dare you!
What if the only way to save your dying father was to sell your own happiness? Juliet never imagined her life would come to this. At 23, she was already tired of fighting a war that showed her no mercy. Her father lay on a thin hospital bed, wires connected to his weak chest. Each breath sounded like a struggle between life and death. The doctor's words still echoed in her mind. Without surgery, he won't survive. But surgery cost more money than Juliet had ever seen in her entire life. Then Prince Dan appeared. Handsome. Wealthy. Arrogant. The kind of man who never heard the word no. I need an heir, he said coldly. Carry my child. I will pay for your father's surgery. Juliet felt like the ground opened beneath her feet. But when she looked at her father coughing blood into a white cloth, her pride no longer mattered. She agreed. The IVF process was torture. Painful injections. Hormones that made her dizzy. Nights of crying alone in a dark room. The first attempt failed. Prince Dan's voice became colder. The second failed. He stopped visiting her. The third failed. He called her useless. Juliet broke down in the hospital bathroom, covering her mouth so no one would hear her sobs. Then, a miracle. The fourth attempt worked. Congratulations. You're pregnant. Juliet collapsed to the floor, shaking and crying. Her father would live. He would live. With tears of relief, she rushed to Prince Dan's mansion. But when she opened the door, she saw him kissing another woman, laughing, holding her like Juliet never existed. I'm pregnant, Juliet whispered, her hands trembling. Prince Dan turned slowly. Then he laughed. Stop lying. You couldn't even conceive. I'm done with you. She tried to show him the result. The slap came fast. Her cheek burned. Get out of my sight, he said. Juliet stumbled outside, vision blurred by tears. That was when she collided with someone. A tall figure stood before her. Powerful. Still. Dressed in a perfectly tailored luxury red suit that screamed authority and wealth. His shoes shined like mirrors. His watch alone could pay for 10 surgeries. His name was Fred. A multi-billionaire. Owner of a global empire worth more than small countries. Feared in business. Untouchable in power. Board members pressured him daily. Your image needs stability. You need a wife. You need an heir. His empire demanded it. And because of a shocking hospital mistake, the child in Juliet's womb was his. When they met again at the hospital to confirm the truth, Juliet gathered courage. I need 10 million, she said softly. Not for luxury. For my father's surgery. Fred's eyes hardened. He saw a young pregnant woman asking for millions. He did not see her pain. He did not see her sleepless nights. He thought. Gold digger. You think carrying my child gives you the right to demand money, he said coldly. Juliet's heart shattered again. Before she could explain, her phone rang. Her father was crashing. She ran back to the hospital. But Prince Dan was already there. He had found out the baby was not his. You betrayed me, he roared. He slapped her so hard she fell. Her father, weak and shaking, tried to get off the bed. Please, she did it for me, the old man cried. Prince Dan pushed him violently. The old man fell to the floor. The heart monitor began screaming. Juliet screamed and crawled to cover her father. Prince Dan grabbed her hair and dragged her back. He hit her again. And again. Juliet held her stomach, protecting the life inside her. Tears rolled endlessly down her face. Her father begged between broken breaths. Don't hurt my daughter. With trembling fingers, Juliet secretly dialed Fred's number. Fred answered calmly. At first, silence. Then, a slap. Juliet's cry. An old man begging for mercy. Fred froze. The powerful billionaire in the red suit suddenly felt something unfamiliar. Rage. Pure, terrifying rage. His voice dropped dangerously low. Trace that call. Now. Within minutes, his convoy stopped outside the hospital. The hallway fell silent as Fred walked in. His red suit glowing under the hospital lights. Power. Authority. Fury. He opened the room door. He saw Juliet on the floor. Bleeding. Crying. Still protecting her stomach. He saw her father barely breathing. He saw Prince Dan raising his hand again. The air turned cold.
How dare
Fred's voice
you!
thundered like a storm. If you touch her again, I will erase
How
you
dare
from
you
this
touch
world.
her one more time? I will erase you from this world.
For the first time in his arrogant life, Prince Dan felt fear.